Alright. Shadows over Innistrad campaign. I already did the Oath of the Gatewatch one, so we're just gonna go ahead and continue on doing the Shadows over Innistrad. See what they got for us. Looks like we get to fight crazy old Avacyn. Story of Shadows over Innistrad is basically Jace is investigating WTF is going on Innistrad with all these people going crazy and the werewolves returning and all this stuff. Because the werewolves actually didn't become werewolves at the end of the first Innistrad. They became Wolfir, which is just like nice werewolves. Wolves in control. This is a very Jace-y deck. They always like to make these illusions in Jace decks. Fogbank is a pretty annoying card. It just prevents things from happening in combat ever. Easy to burn with spells, but having to use a spell to kill an O2 wall is really depressing for most people. So is not having Phantasmal Bear on turn 1. That's also depressing. Who knows how many spells can target these illusions. Basically, when illusions are targeted with a spell or an ability, you have to sacrifice them. That's why they're a little bit stronger. Like, this is a 3/4 flyer for 3. Overpowered, except it can die to any spell targeting it, or any ability. But I don't imagine Werewolves is going to be a very spell target type of deck. Would we rather get in for 5 or trade? Nah, I'll offer that trade. I didn't think he'd want any part of that. Fogbank should be just the hard lock on the ground. Indestructible wolves ain't bad. Play skill quest. Ugh. Okay. This is where we learn about the mechanics, apparently. Find a way to win the game on the next turn. So he's got 12 power on board. Okay. Seems pretty easy to just bounce one of these things. I assume we're going to top deck another bounce spell and we just get to come in with our 7/8 thing in the ice. Draw. So we would draw and then get a bounce? Is that how it is? Oh, it bounces, right, yeah, it just tosses them all. It's pretty silly. Card's good if you have a lot of spells, that's for sure. That was so hard. Thanks, Wizards, for teaching me how to play the game. Congratulations. I'm the best. Back to our regularly scheduled program. I want to get in for 5 again, so we'll just control this dealio. We can get in for 5 one more time. This 3 in the air will be good. So. Alright, let's see if he's keen to block. My suspicion is that he will be keen to block. And by he, I mean it. These first campaigns are always really mindless. I mean, our draw has been pretty horrendous since we played the Fog Banks. Still gonna win. Barring a unfortunate spell targeting this flyer. Terrible draws, but victory nonetheless. Right, yeah, he goes to Liliana and asks what the fuck with Sorin, and she's got all these zombies around. It was a pretty cool thing. They wrote a whole little short story. Liliana is kind of a badass. Jace always wants to knock them boots. Markov Manor, yeah, he shows up. It's all distorted and stuff. Very Eldrazi-like in distortion. So if we're going against vampires at Markov Manor, I don't know how good this is going to be against some vampires, but I like a turn 1 Phantasmal Bear. There's some flying vampires that can actually block Illusionary Servant, which is unfortunate. Still drawing lands off the top. It's good to see that hasn't changed. I feel like Wizards has a really weird concept about the way Jace fights with illusions and fog banks. I mean, I feel like the dude could do better. Kind of getting a nice little curve going here, though. Let's see. I would be... Oh, yeah, this guy can't block. Yeah, it's pretty good, though. Giving other vampires haste is pretty relevant. Fiery Temper, burn. You're gonna see a lot of that type of stuff. Discard a card, it's madness. Kill. Oh, it's madness. And no. This thing we played, if we put a spell, a non-creature spell, or instant or sorcery, I guess, into our graveyard, we get a 5/4 flyer, which is pretty unbeatable. Mission not accomplished. Five Phantasmal Dragon. Killed our man. Killed our man. More madness spells. I mean, they can kill all they want, but if they don't play something that can block 2 damage next turn, game is over. Computer's really making look Jace a lot better than he really is right now. Oh, skill quest. Gotta love skill quest. We gotta learn how to play. That's what we need to do. We need to learn what we're doing. Our opponent's gonna attack and defeat us, and we barely have mana. The only way to win is to figure it out. Well, I'll tell you what. This guy draws a card and discards a card, and this does madness 3 damage to the face. Oh, we have to pause. I see. So I draw a card. I almost lost that. Dodge that bullet. Thanks, Wizards. Good lesson. Mission accomplished. Vampires. Didn't do anything. Yeah, Jace finds Tamio's journal. She's got a bunch of clues in there about what's been going on. He starts figuring out weird stuff's afoot. And here's some clues. This is like the biggest clues. Like there's this cult that's in Nephalia, and they got like this weird temple, this temple drown yard. And it might be related to the angels, and it might be related to the moon. He doesn't quite know yet, but he knows that whatever these people are doing with these weird stones is not cool. Not cool at all. This hand seems very slow, by the way. I'm not actually a huge fan of it. I kept because the curve is 2, 3, 4, 5. That's really the only reason. I mean, it was keepable. Don't get me wrong, I would have kept that every time. But I would rather have Phantasmal Bears and 3, 4 flyers against the computer, so I can finish this video quicker. Madness. I know how madness works. Forced to discard, or you discard for any reason, you get to pay an alternate cost, usually cheaper. One thing that's worth noting about Madness is if you discard a creature card with Madness during your opponent's turn, you get to cast that card at instant speed, basically. Like if I draw and discard a card and I discard a creature card, I get to just put it into play right on their turn. which is pretty insane. You can ambush people. Looks like we're going against a zombie deck of some kind. Clues are pretty neat. They draw you a card, but not right away. And I think that's neat. Sacrifice an artifact, that artifact, draw a card. They didn't really put a strong clue deck in. They didn't put enough of the clue things. There's like clue things in this set, but they didn't put enough of them in to be good, I don't think. I think the best use of our mana is to play this and sacrifice this clue. Ooh, that bounces us. Ugh. I'm gonna sack this clue right now, because we're gonna have to discard because this spell bounces, and if they control a zombie, we discard. It's a good thing we did, because we're gonna discard this land. Oh, that's not how that... Oh, it's because it... Yeah, okay, so it targeted. It didn't actually bounce it to our hand because we got a sacrifice. That's a weird interaction. Yeah, because our guy was an illusion and it was targeted, we sacrificed it, so this thing didn't happen. The discard. Interesting. Fortunate. I'm gonna see about maybe bouncing this crow. This has been sort of stalematey so far. It's worth noting that mechanically you have to confirm if you're going to madness. We flipped. We have a 5-4. Got there in a big way. Try and save all of our claustrophobias for flying things. Although, yeah, probably. Drew a hell of a lot of land there. Ooh, sleep? Sleep's a good card. Ugh. That's like just 2 free alpha strikes. We've got 9 damage on board. If we draw a creature next turn, we can certainly sleep. I mean, we could just sleep anyway. It's just a good card. Oh man. Madness, welcome to the fold. Ugh, that's insane. How much can we do this for? This is a control thing. If we madness it, it's blue X, so we can get a 5 power thing. Is that it? Oh, toughness. A 5 toughness thing. Well, he has a 5 toughness thing. I don't know if I actually care. Although it does let us sleep. Next turn. It's interesting not knowing what cards are in these decks and just getting surprised. Like, it's a pleasant surprise to just be like, oh, welcome to the fold. Don't mind if I do. So we've got 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. He doesn't kill something. It is over. It's always good to make sure you use effects like that in order to win. Usually don't want them to be able to untap and do stuff, because you never know what could happen. Alright, so let's see. So angels are around going nuts. He follows the angels and the journal clues on. I don't know. So he's going to Thraben, whatever. What's in Thraben? Final pages of the mysterious journal lead Jace to the doors of the foreboding Thraben Cathedral. The ground is broken, and the once proud, gleaming spires are warped and twisted. The townspeople and the Cathars of Thraben swarm around Jace. Okay, so they are paranoid and suspicious, and quickly give way to violence. So they're all going crazy. The townspeople of Thraben are just like, they're going mad, or maybe they've got some kind of delirium. Maybe some delirium, possibly. They're gonna be a little delirious. Yeah, that flips to become like a 2/3. 2/3 that has to attack every turn. Trying to find a land here, obviously. We found one. Reckless Scholar is a pretty good card. I don't want to oversell it, but it is the best madness activator, for sure. Two, nothing, huh? Now we got our 2/3. Oh yeah, and it has fire breathing. It's pretty silly. What does this thing do? Power and toughness equal to the number of cards. It's decent. Well, this deck's pretty aggressive, but I'm thinking maybe it's another one of those that isn't going to be targeting our illusions very easily. But this is an Equipment Matters card, so maybe it has equipment in it. Get to eat this rabble for free. It's pretty nice. Actually, maybe we kill this. Rabble has to attack next turn anyway, I just get to keep killing things. This is a cool card. It's very flavorful. It's a 2/2, and when it dies, it comes back as a equipment. It basically means they took this scythe that this scarecrow is holding, and then you just use it. It's really neat. Ah, forgot to loot. Damn it. Arg. I'm gonna loot now, because I screwed up. That's why. We're gonna let this thing attack again. Or wait, does it flip? It flips, doesn't it? Oh, it doesn't flip. Okay. It's not a werewolf, it's just a mob. So we'll eat that guy. Humans are still on the menu, even with this pump spell. Man, I want to eat this one now. As long as they're going to attack with two things, I'll just keep letting this rabble kill me. Storm Geist ain't bad. I'm gonna continue doing what I'm gonna do, which is block his things. Maybe one day our aberrant researcher will become a giant 5/4 insect again. Nephalia Moondrakes, eh? That makes me want more land. This is a 5/5, and like, if you exile it from the graveyard, all your creatures get flying suddenly, which, I mean, all of our creatures fly anyway, but... Alright, so we can do 13 in the air. Guess that's fine. To do 10, anyway. That's more than half. We don't get to draw a card. That was probably dumb. I haven't played with too many Sturmgeists in my day. Looks like a win. Maybe they made this campaign easier than the Oath of the Gatewatch one because they wanted to articulate just how overpowered Jace is. But in reality, we had to play some weird 5-color stuff over here, and this is just consistent blue. Alright, so we got Tamiyo with her scrolls. Alright, so he finds Tamiyo, and Avacyn is gone crazy. Avacyn is an incredible Magic card this time. Certainly better than the... well, I don't know. She's at least better than one of the other versions. Very good card. So we got some clue stuff going on here. I don't know if I like that hand. I wonder if this means that Tamiyo is going to be blue-green. I wonder if this is a clue that Tamiyo is going to be blue-green. Clue? Tamiyo? Possibly. I mean, Jace could be the blue half of this, but I mean, she could be just a blue-green clue chick. I don't know. Uninvited Geist seems pretty good against a 3-2. I think usually you don't want to get antsy about these clues. You want to weave them in whenever you got 2 mana available. It's all part of that mana puzzle. You got 5 mana, a 3-drop, now you can clue. Flying lifelink 2/4 is pretty good. We can kill that. Probably should. If we want to get in with our Geist, that is. Alright, so we can clip wing. Play a forest. Now we can sacrifice our clue. This guy also flips into a 3/3 unblockable. He has Skulk, which means that our opponent couldn't block because his power was bigger than the Geist's power. That's how that works. And now he's like super, super gigantic. But hey, super gigantic, I mean barely bigger. I think that makes us want to clip wings also. Oh, what's going on? Oh. This game is so weird sometimes. Oh, Craft Mole. That guy blocks. Whenever you sacrifice a clue, you gain 3 life. Sometimes super good. Certainly blocks, at the very least. He blocks. I read that this is the first card that is a mole. And more than that, it's a mole beast. Can't really do mole tribal with 1 mole, but you gotta start somewhere. It's gonna be mole lords. Angelic Purge, that's unfortunate. It does kill our most relevant thing, the show. Alright, let's get this Stormgeist going. We need to attack at some point. Avacyn's not far behind. I didn't play this Hinterland Harbor because I think I want this thing to be bigger. We only need 5 mana probably. Tap target creature. We'll save that for our friend Avacyn. Let's see. Well, I guess we attack for 3. Oh god. Alright, so destroy target attacking or blocking creature with power 3 or less. If we sacrifice this clue, it gets 4 power. Take that, computer. Oh, now we got a lot of land, don't we? I guess we'll play this Evolving Wilds, just get a land out of our deck. Angelic Purge. Guess that Stormgeist is dead. Unfortunate. What do we do now? Play this stuff, I guess. I want to attack now. I guess we just use it. Avacyn, they're certainly 1 mana away from casting Avacyn herself. Maybe we can just beat them. This guy has Delirium. When he has 4 different card types, it gets +1/+0 and first strike, so that was pretty rough for us. Even our Graph Mole was not too keen on getting blocked. Our opponent getting screwed on that 5th Avacyn mana is really beneficial for the cause here. Yep. I'm draw right now. We might want to play something. We gain 6 life. That's nuts. Oh yeah. That's cray. Save these lands and we get to grow this guy. He gets a counter every time I sack a clue. And he makes a clue every time I play a land. It's pretty silly. We gain 6 life again. Well, this campaign was much easier. Especially with our opponent not playing their 5th mana. Journey to Nowhere? Nuts. We'll just remove this guy from our way. Well, we figured out what was bothering Avacyn. What made her go so mad was getting mana screwed. And as a result, we are victorious. The cathedral crumbles around them, of course it does. And the planeswalkers are knocked to the ground. Oh, a bonus battle. That's not it? A bonus battle. This is where Soren has to kill his creation, Avacyn, because she's gone too nuts. The Anguished Unmaking, as it's called. So they put Audric in the campaign, but not in the versus mode. Really sad. This guy allows us to get, like, if we have Flying Death Touch Lifelink, it means all our creatures get it as long as Audric is on board. It's pretty insane. As far as our 3-drops, we'll play Bygone Bishop first because we want to investigate when we play Vampire Nighthawk, basically. Because it's converted mana cost 3 or less. We get to investigate. Which ain't a bad deal. Bygone Bishop might get killed. Does not get killed. Let's play this Audric instead. Once again, it's usually better to use your mana efficiently, because at some point we'll be able to play Vampire Nighthawk and sack a clue. Like next turn, really. Ooh. 4/9 Flying Haste that doubles the damage. Interesting. I think we actually have to kill that. Although we have Skulk now. Maybe that's what we do. We just Skulk in. Because now this 4/9 can't block us. And we get to do double damage. Like, that's the penalty for playing a giant 4/9 on turn 4, is we get to do double damage. That's why we did 4. Killing our Bygone Bishop. Oh, oddly. My bad. Makes sense. Mortify. Yep. I'm gonna keep that around. One thing to note about this card, where you got this creatures you control get +1/+1 activation, and they have Skulk. Like, let's say we had 3/3 flyers. We could attack, and then after blocks, we can pump that guy, and they still wouldn't be able to block. It's relevant to know, because if you did it pre-combat, then they'd be able to block. Sorin A. Angelic Purge, jeez. It's a lot of removal. Alright, so I can Death's Grasp for 3, which puts them at 2. And then we just get to win. That's the dangers of Gold Knight Castigator. Maybe if they played Avacyn, we would have lost. Not such the case. And there it is. Avacyn gets hosed. It's too bad. She's certainly pretty cool. Got more starter box cards. Well, as a bonus, we may as well just buy all the packs on this video. Anyway, I'll be back with some new decks pretty soon, but, you know, this was the campaign, and I didn't lose too many. There's some Oath of the Gatewatch ones that were unfortunate, but it is what it is. Hope you enjoyed it. Till next time.